Hey guys, this is Jeff from Zen Trader. This is my second take of the video. I did it, had it all done, was getting ready to prepare it, and something happened. So this one might be a little shorter. I don't really like to do second takes on these videos. Normally what you see is what you get. So, to the charts. This is a chart of the NASDAQ 100% of stocks above their 50-day moving average, and we're not in the overbought range yet. We're getting there. Traditionally it can hang out here for a couple weeks even. The histogram still rising. Everything looks good for this bullish trend to continue. Here's a chart of the NASDAQ 15-minute. I remember back here when the RSI was probably like 31st, maybe even 30th, I was noticing how we just kept bouncing, we kept tightening. And I remember I said something on Twitter how it looks like that this market is gonna bust out of this one way or the other, and you know, deep down I thought it was gonna be to the downside. Although it didn't surprise me when it busted the upside, but I got to confirm buy signal with my market timing on the 3rd, which was another huge gap up, which didn't really provide too many opportunities to get in. But we are seeing some negative divergence here as the chart continues to move higher, the RSI is moving lower. And another thing that I'm noticing is typically when stocks go and switch into bull mode, it's not uncommon on a 15-minute chart for this to really dip down under 30, which was traditionally an oversold area, and we haven't done that one time. So I'm looking for us to, you know, maybe have a day or two or three of some significant selling to push this into the oversold, to work off some of this overbought action that we're in. Here is a chart of the NASDAQ. This is a 60-minute chart. This is just, I just want to show you again when my system went long here, and after, you know, it's a lag. It's a little bit of a lag. There's always going to be some kind of lag in any kind of market timing, because you don't want to be getting whipsawed all the time. So, like I said, on the 3rd we went bullish, and that trade, I tried to get too cute last week. I'll admit it. Traded out of my long shares that I was in, and now I'm basically flat. And today was not a day to be, in my opinion, opening a whole lot of new long positions, because I think we're going to have you know some profit taking, and I think there'll be another opportunity or two to get long this market. And because right now in my scans that I ran tonight, I'm not seeing a whole lot of new quality breakouts. I'm seeing a lot of exhaustion in the charts going on. I'm seeing a lot of the recent market leaders having awesome days. Netflix, RVBD, VHC. You know, these are stocks that have been very strong, and they had another strong day today. And but in terms of new quality setups, I'm not seeing that. That's another reason that leads me to believe that we're going to have some kind of pullback and let some of these stocks consolidate their gains. In terms of where we may be heading, I have my market timing signal, and then I have a confirming one, and it actually went green today. So I believe, based on what I'm seeing in my timing signals, is we could be in for a little bit bigger of a move than a lot of people are maybe anticipating right now, because it seems like a lot of bloggers and a lot of the media are expecting this market to roll over any day now. And based on what I'm seeing, you've got this range here that I don't see anything that's going to cause this market to roll over between here and here at the minimum, and then here, and we may head up to this area. Right now on the RSI, we're right at the top of that bear range 20 to 60, and this would be a good place for us to maybe consolidate some gains, but This overlay behind the chart, this is the number of stocks that are above their 200-day moving average, and this is starting, it was really oversold here, and it's starting to move higher. And typically when this thing starts to really get vertical, even if the market's going to roll over, it's not going to roll over right away. The market will continue to go higher while this has some sort of consolidating, and then it will normally even form some kind of negative divergence before the market starts to roll over. And then you've got the DI line down here, the positive DI line, and it looks like this is a little bit of a flag here, and it looks like it wants to head higher. So something to look at, something to consider. A trade that I took today because it fit one of my trading styles is the TLT, which if the markets move higher, this may move down lower, but I mean there are a few scenarios that I can see where bonds would move higher and the overall market could move higher, but that's more for the fundamental people. But I was getting very bullish on TLT here. It gapped up and never really provided a good entry. Now we're right back to that area of support. We've closed this gap. We're at the lower Bollinger Band. I think this is a fairly good risk-reward trade with a close stop at a close underneath the Bollinger Band. I bought a few options on this today, and we'll see how that plays out. But other than that, markets look poised to move higher. I'd like to see some consolidating of these gains, as would probably a lot of traders. So who knows, that very well may not even happen. Maybe we'll just continue to plow higher, and maybe if we go back to this chart, we could just continue to move higher until we're in this severe overbought area, and then we'll have a decline. So it's tough to say. I'm basically flat, not really happy about it, but you know, that's the break sometimes when you try to get too fancy in your trading and you try to outsmart your system. So other than that, take care guys, happy trading.